see Dr. Weems?
He's in the Amazing Body Pavilion right through there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Dr. Weems.
Hello, I'm Tasha.
I'm Laura.
Laura.
I'm Chris.
Chris.
And I'm Edward.
Nice meeting you. I understand that you guys are here to learn about the cardiovascular system.
Yes, we are.
But first we need to know what cardiovascular means.
I thought we were learning about the heart and how it works and stuff.
It's the same thing, right?
Right, Chris, but when we talk about cardiovascular, we mean much more than just about the heart.
It's things like veins too, right?
You're right, Tasha. Except when we think about the cardiovascular system, that includes not only your heart, but also miles and miles of blood vessels.
Miles of blood vessels?
Definitely. Here, let me show you. Let's go here into the Amazing Body Pavilion. Our bodies are made of billions and billions of living cells. Each of these cells must be surrounded by extracellular fluid containing all the materials a cell uses for living, building things the body needs, and the energy required for such activities as walking and running. The extracellular fluid bathing our cells is often called the internal sea. Cells remove materials from the sea to obtain energy and building blocks, but put waste materials such as carbon dioxide and heat back into the sea as they do their work. If the materials required by cells are not somehow replaced into the internal sea, and cellular produced waste is not removed from the sea becomes unable to support life and the cells die. The materials used by cells in the internal sea come from the food we eat and the air we breathe. Food ultimately ends up in the intestine and air containing oxygen in the lungs. However, the sea that bathes the cells of different parts of the body, such as the big toe and the brain, are a long, long way from both the lungs and the intestine. Thus, how do useful materials get to the sea and unwanted waste removed? Material needed by living cells is carried to and waste material away from the internal sea by a transport system called the circulatory system. The circulatory system is a set of tubes through which blood flows to rapidly distribute material throughout the internal sea. Oxygen, for example, leaves the lungs and enters the blood where it is carried by the circulatory system to regions of the body. If the internal sea of the big toe is low in oxygen, oxygen moves from the blood into the internal sea within the toe where it is available for the toe cells to use as needed. The circulatory system has a heart which pumps blood into two large arteries. One artery, called the pulmonary artery, carries blood to the lungs where it picks up oxygen and gives off carbon dioxide waste. The other artery is called the aorta, which branches into many arteries that carry blood to other areas of the body, such as the big toe. These arteries keep branching like limbs of a tree into smaller and smaller arteries. When the tubes become so small that only a single red blood cell can flow through the tubes are called capillaries. It is in the capillaries where materials such as oxygen, sugar, amino acids, heat, and other substances can move back and forth between the blood and the internal sea. The capillaries begin to merge back together to form increasing larger and larger tubes called veins. Finally, all veins are merged into three large veins that carry all blood back into the heart. This transport system is called the circulatory system because the heart pumps blood around and around the closed loop of first branching and then merging tubes consisting of arteries, capillaries, and veins. If the heart was not there, blood would not flow around the circulatory system and material could not be added to or removed from the internal sea as needed. The heart is a specially designed organ that has chambers of muscle for pumping blood. When the heart muscle is relaxed, the chambers fill with blood. Roughly every second, the heart muscle surrounding the pumping chambers shortens, pushing the blood out of the chambers into the two large arteries connected to the heart. This muscle contraction lasts for about half of a second. The muscle then relaxes, allowing blood to flow from the veins back into the chambers of the heart. The heart once again contracts, pushing the blood around the circulatory system. Thus, each time you hear a heartbeat, blood is first being pushed into the arteries from the heart and then filling the heart from the veins. The muscle cells of the heart are also surrounded by an internal sea of extracellular fluid. As heart cells use energy to push blood around the entire circulation, they remove materials from and add waste to the internal sea of the heart. To keep the right amount of material in the heart's internal sea, some of the blood pumped from the heart to the aorta immediately enters branches of the aorta called coronary arteries. Blood flows from these arteries into capillaries of the heart muscle, where substances are added to and removed from the heart's internal sea. Blood then flows from the capillaries of the heart muscle into veins, where it once again enters the pumping chambers of the heart. Some individuals develop a disease where material begins to build up inside the coronary arteries. As more and more material is added to areas inside the artery, the opening inside the artery becomes smaller and smaller. This allows less and less blood to flow into the heart muscle to maintain its internal sea. If not enough blood is able to flow through the artery supplying the heart's internal sea, heart muscle cells begin to die. As more and more muscle cells die, the heart is able to pump less and less blood. This results in a person becoming more and more ill and ultimately dying. This disease is called coronary artery disease. Arteries supplying other regions of the body, not just the heart muscle, can be altered by disease causing buildup of material within those arteries. The appearance of such material, often called plaque, in any artery is generally referred to as vascular disease, which is what you need to learn about next. It's my understanding that you guys are here to learn more about science, medicine, and health.
You can say that. It started out with genealogy and went from there.
Then you definitely need to meet my good friend, Dr. Fuentes. He is not only a cardiologist, but is also a surgeon and teaches the medical students at our university.
Wow, really?
Yes, and what I will do is leave him a message this afternoon so that you all can get together.
Thanks, Dr. Weems.